talk to you about healing. Every day, a number of times a day, I give these hands to God to use in healing. Well, I give my whole body to God to use to healing, but my hands in particular, I see them a lot and I say, they don't look connected to me somehow. Well, neither does my body. I'm very aware of my body being not me and my hands being a vessel. And so this vessel I donate to God often. And because I do that, when I think of healing, I do not want to go to a university or anywhere and study something that God has freely provided. If you need to go to a doctor, and I do from time to time, then that is one aspect of healing only. There is another aspect of healing, and that is healing vibrationally. And that is really, really, really connected to my studies in the cerebrospinal fluid. Because the cerebrospinal fluid, inside that is the DNA, and we really don't know how the DNA can help us, seeing we've only unpacked 3%. The other 97%, we are told, is junk. I'm absolutely wanting that junk to be unpacked. I cannot wait. It's multidimensional. DNA is magnetic, not electrical in its origin, so that's why we can't unpack it, because we don't know how to read it. We can read the linear part, but we can't read the multidimensional. So when we are healing, we're using that multidimensional part of the DNA, even though we haven't unpacked it. It's still there, it's still working, and the energy from that DNA goes out about 9 feet, I believe. That's what I've been told. Okay? So, if the energy goes out 9 feet, when I am using the tuning forks or my body or whatever I'm using for healing, then we can feel where that 9 feet is for you. It might be 2 feet, it might be 6 inches. Just depends how much energy, how much positivity, how connected you are to the universe, how much that expansion is. And some people I've felt are much more than that. And one old lady who died, I could hardly get in the room. You know, the energy is different for people. So when I use my tuning forks, I kind of roll the energy into the place that it should be, and I try and fix the holes that are there and lift off the mud that's kind of accumulated and push out the cobwebs that have got stuck. But I do it with sound, and I do it intuitively, and I don't think you can study it. How can I say to somebody, oh well, and this is the way that I do this? I can, but I can't get them to feel that. They may not ever feel that, and until they do feel that, their healing will be totally different to mine. When somebody's been healing for a long time, then they can say words accidentally and the words click. Or they needn't say anything. They could just sit, and something about how they are says to me, that's what that is. And I'm not really sure what it is that I've felt, but I know that I've felt something, and I know that it's helped me, and I know that it's been inspirational, but they haven't made an effort to do it. They haven't given me papers. They haven't said study this. They haven't said here's a doctorate. They've just existed, and that was enough. You know, we work very hard to increase our aura. Not necessarily to increase the aura, but we want to help the world, and we want to heal the world, and we want to do it one person at a time, through yoga or through healing. And when we do that, we increase our aura. The koshas, things get wider, things get better. I'm not interested in knowing the words. I'm not interested in knowing them in various languages. I'm not interested in any of that. I am just interested in being able to help and to heal. Other people can do that. Other people who are fascinated with the language of healing can do that. Other people who are fascinated with herbs or pills or potions can do that. I am not. I'm fascinated by how vibration helps. I'm fascinated to know that how, when I work with my pendulum and I have determined that the code, or 1, 7, 3 and 8, is the code that will help get rid of this particular black hole with somebody, and then I find out that it does with the next person, and then it will work for the same black hole with another person, and I build up a vocabulary of that. But I'm not interested in sort of saying to anybody or teaching anybody that if they do it my way, they will get the results that I do. Therefore, they can be qualified. I can't do that. I can teach you yoga, I can teach you philosophy, I can teach you things that are like that are material. But I'm finding it very difficult to teach people how really to do PPT. I can show you the motions, but I can't show you the mindset. It's like Bowen. People think that they can do what Bowen did. No, they can't. You think about it. He was a man with many problems of his own, one being alcohol and one being diabetes and another one being a wheelchair. Being able to do 1,000 healings a year and more. He had a 3-bedroom house. He had 2 single beds in each of the 3 bedrooms, and he used to career between them and, sort of roll his wheelchair between them and do the healings. And because there was 3 minutes between each adjustment, he was able to do 6 people at a time. And they used to be lined up. People now do it, and there are books about it, and there's people who are excited about the theories, but nobody can do it like Tom did it. And he didn't really teach anybody. I think he taught one person, but it was inadvertent. The person learned because they hung around. They didn't learn because they got masses of instruction. They just learned because they stood by him and learned that. It's like when I learned teacher training. It wasn't really teacher training. It was kind of like an apprenticeship. You just wandered around with a teacher and picked up things. And that was a very effective way. If any of you want to learn healing from me, you can do that, but it's different nowadays. I certainly would love to have one person in a room on a regular basis. I usually don't. They turn up and then they go and then somebody else turns up. But, anybody's welcome to wander around after me and be apprenticed. I have had them do that and stay with me for 3 months. And the ones that have done it have profited by doing that. but it's not your usual teaching. You have to be very self-directed. You have to really want it. I suppose nowadays YouTube is a very good way of doing that. It's looking at all the videos and then looking at them again and then looking at them again. I know people who say that they're really studying and very excited by what I do, but they might only look at a video once and they think they've got it. No, you haven't. Okay? Vibrational healing. We're working with the DNA. The DNA is informing everything, and we are helping the DNA. There are times when I think all we are is a bag designed to carry the DNA around so that the world will grow and change and become what it needs to be. We're not really needed or wanted. As long as the DNA has a bag to carry itself around in, it will find a way. The particular DNA for human beings needs a human being. But I'm sure there's another way. It might happen in artificial intelligence. I don't know. But right now and today, I'm excited working with the DNA. I'm just learning about it. I'm a beginner. And I'm trying to get you people, my beautiful students, to understand that hypermobility is the first step in working with that. Working with hypermobility, working with people who are hypermobile is a beginning step for us in learning how to talk with the DNA. Or even seeing the results of talking with the DNA. We live in exciting times. Namaste.